ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to the Modern Day Overthinker podcast. My name is Colin, and I am your host. Today's guest is Jake Truemper. Thank you for being here, Jake.
Dude,
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a Sunday. It's going to get a little warm in here. I don't know why October. It's still like 90-some degrees outside.
Dude, yesterday was terrible.
Yeah.
September 31st and October 1st. It's like, I'm ready for spooky season. I'm ready for it to be cold and nice. And
I went to a haunted house last night, and I was sweating.
I don't know how we started this thing with haunted houses, but here we are.
Yeah, well, it was just weird it being October, and, well, it wasn't October, September 30th, and, but it was just like...
So hot.
Yeah, so hot.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate the heat.
I don't mind it, but I would prefer like 60, 70 degrees.
Sweet spot.
That sweet spot. When it gets too cold, yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah. Dude, I get heat rash. Like all along my arms.
Yeah,
like
you are very white.
Yeah, so it looks very bad. I look like it looks terrible. Like if you look, it looks like I have some like deadly disease. So I hate the heat.
I get it. Well, before we get started, we'll have you introduce yourself.
Oh,
You're a man of many hats like I am, so it's probably way easier for you to introduce yourself. So we'll start there, and then we'll kind of get into what we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just kind of like jack of all trades, master of none kind of situation there.
Know the feeling.
Yeah, so I do like stand-up, improv, social media, radio, local business owner. I hate introducing myself because I don't want to be that guy where it's like, all right, let me just whip out the list of things that here's the people that are like, I want to just talk about the stuff like I'm good at, because I've got a long list of everything I do, but some of that stuff I'm a little mediocre at, so I don't want to be like, hey people, here's everything I do.
Your passion is the Legos, though.
Lego is the main passion, but if I come right out the gate of being like, so have you guys seen my Lego city? It's a little, might scare some people off.
Is that kind of how, because you've developed quite the following on social media personally, so is it because of the Legos or the history?
No, history.
Okay.
History is what started it all. I was a very early adapter to history TikTok.
Gotcha.
A lot of people, it's so weird. So I was one of like the first history TikTokers who like did skits and stuff like that. So I had a lot of people who followed me now back then who have just blown up now. And it's always such a weird thought in my mind where I'm like, oh, that dude's got 2 million followers. And he followed me when we started. Yeah. I don't know where I went wrong. I probably, again, I was throwing too much stuff at the wall.
Because you were doing other stuff.
Yeah, but it's like so cool to see where it's like, wow, that person is obligated to follow me now. Like I've trapped them, or they're like, they're big and fan. I could be like, that guy follows me back just because they followed me early on.
I knew him when we were...
Yep, they followed me, and then I followed, and now I feel like they just probably feel bad if they unfollowed me, so...
I have a friend of mine, well, an old friend, a high school friend, that I don't really keep in contact with, obviously. I messaged her not too long ago, who blew the hell up on TikTok, who has got like, she's probably got 3 million now.
Wow, that is awesome.
Her name's Over the Moon Far Away. Erin Miller is her name.
Wow.
And she just does nostalgic 90s stuff, 90s, early 2000s stuff.
That is sick.
That's all she does.
One of my...
skits. By herself, just her.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that is sick. I had someone who got canceled. And we follow each other, and I didn't unfollow them, but they, you might have heard about it.
Okay.
It's, I'm sorry, Ken, but if you're watching this, do you know, Ken, the guy, he was in Chicago talking about the potential of there being like serial killers in Chicago picking people up?
Yeah.
Ken, they were like, Ken's on the case. And then he was like, I cracked the case. And he was talking about it. He got canceled for it because people were like, you're using real tragedy for views, and it got really messy really quickly. He was gaining he's like 1 million followers and everything. Got a little messy. We still follow each other, and now he just does like gym updates and stuff. I'm like, good for you, Ken. But
yeah,
I've seen like commentary YouTubers that I watch do a video about him talking about like, this is why this guy sucks. And I'm like, wow, he's really ascended the mountaintop. He got canceled online. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing to get canceled.
It's like a rite of passage.
It is to get canceled. And he's still around, still doing his thing.
And he got canceled for he wasn't trying to do anything bad.
Yes, he probably one of the less bad cancelings, I would say. Like a canceling you can bounce back from. There's some cancelings you shouldn't bounce back from.
Yeah.
There's some cancelings where I would probably hit the unfollow button for, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, with him, you're like, oh, he wasn't...
It could have been an honest mistake.
Did you see? My buddy sent me a video yesterday. I don't know who the YouTuber was. He was a prank guy. He got shot.
Yeah, dude. So he was he's a prankster who tall dude got shot. There was just like an Uber Eats delivery guy that he was just like following around. So everyone
wouldn't leave him alone though.
Yeah, but everyone was on the side before the footage came out. Everyone was just like, "Oh, this is another prankster who probably ran at a guy and did like a knife prank or something and got shot." Then the video comes out and it's like, "Oh, he was just harassing him and got shot." And to be fair, I don't think he deserved to get shot.
No.
But also, I hate YouTube pranksters, so he deserved to get shot. That's where I'm at. I'm like, legally speaking, the dude's probably guilty, and I can't believe...
over the line, but...
I'm glad that the jury hates pranksters so much that they acquitted him of one of the crimes. Yeah. He still got... So he got acquitted of the first one, where it was like, hey... the first one was like, you shot an innocent person. Your life wasn't in danger. The court went, nope, your life was in danger. Screw that prankster. But he was found guilty for the shooting in an enclosed area.
Yeah, in a public place.
But that was, that was funny. I was like, prankster deserved it.
You know where my brain went immediately after I saw it? I was like, set up. I was like, that dude didn't even shoot him.
Oh, that would be insane. It goes all the way to court. Now the courts are in on it. It's all
Everyone's
fake.
in on it.
I'm gonna start doing
doing a deep dive.
No, a fake video. So I've got 3 YouTube channels that I do. And one of them's a skit channel. So I'm gonna upload a main video because shorts do really well right now. If you're trying to get into social media, YouTube Shorts, it's tailing out now. It's starting to sputter out a little bit.
I've had a couple pop off.
They were really big like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
If you got in on it like 4 months, it was the same with when Instagram Reels first kicked off. They would feed. I was getting videos without even. I was just getting on TikTok 3,000 views. Instagram Reels, it'd get like 500,000. It was crazy how much they were feeding it. But now it's YouTube Shorts still. But your main YouTube video still isn't going to get a lot of views. So I'm doing a main YouTube video where I'm like, hey, for the month of October, I'm doing a bunch of fake spooky videos. All the shorts you see me upload are going to be fake, and I'm just going to prove how easy it is to fake these videos and make them go viral. So I've got a bunch of like Bigfoot sighting videos, a bunch of those videos, and I'm just going to upload them all and see what happens. So it could do really well, and I could go viral, or it could completely blow up. Well, no, that's why I'm uploading that first main video. So if anyone comments and they're like, you're disgusting, I'll be like, go check the first video, bud. And they'd be like, oh, he admitted it. From the very beginning, because it's just I just want to goof around because it is
prove a point,
and it's also on a skit channel. Like the channel's been around for 6 months now, doing skits. So like if anyone, the point is showing that like how we are all so willing just to watch one video out of complete context. Like we're so willing to not even click the person's profile, look at what their history is. We will just take their video at face value, like it, and be like, that's some real stuff right there. Where it's like if they would have clicked my profile, seen the video of me admitting it's fake, or seen the millions of videos of just skits, they would know it's fake. That's kind of what I was... It'd be different if I posted it on my history channel where I talk about actual history stuff and was like, whoa, Bigfoot. But
where you just totally just like made some history
just straight up lie. I could do that too. I could just lie to people. It's cool. Gets clicks, gets views.
Yeah. What people will do for those clicks, man. It's insane.
How far would you go? What would you do? Because I think I've towing the line now with posting fake videos and saying it's a social experiment. There's still some cheating in there. Like I'm obviously doing this for views, right? Like I know that's the goal. Like I can call it a social experiment, but I still feel a little dirty. So that's probably my line. What's yours?
I'm too honest, man. Like there's videos I've thought of where I just won't do it.
Would you get shot for a video?
Fake shot.
Fake shot. Okay, so you would do like. Would you do like a fake death? Would you do like a Lil Tay fake death scenario?
Man, I forgot to watch the history on that, but we won't get into that because we go down a rabbit hole. Yeah. But I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I like the authentic content. Like that's where I'm going because that seems to be. It's something I have to be consistent with. It's not going to just pop off immediately. But if people know that my channel is like for modern day overthinker, because I obviously have the Collins Stage like one for comedy stuff, but if people know to come to that page and they're gonna see like real authentic stuff,
it'd be trashy to fake stuff.
I
see what you're saying.
And so I don't even want to even get close to that. I wanted to do videos for a while. Like I see videos of people like helping like homeless people out and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are really
but also at the same time I don't want people like he's only doing it for the views.
Yeah, I know, but like because those people who would say that, again, people who either blindly believe something or blindly hate something, they don't do research into stuff. They don't know, like, oh, this guy literally volunteers in the community already off camera for the last 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and now he's putting a little bit of it on camera.
Yeah.
They don't see that. They just see like faker or doing it for views. You suck. So it's like, it's so crazy how the internet works. And I overthink the hell out of that whenever I upload. Like my next video is going through every president and seeing which one I could beat up. And I'm just terrified to do Trump and Biden because I just know how angry like
each side is
going to get. Like I to be fair, I think a lot of Biden fans would be like, oh yeah, fair enough, you could beat him up. But if I say I could beat up Trump because it's like he's much bigger than I am, but he's literally like in his 80s.
Yeah, he's old.
All I got to do is run around him a little bit and I win. People would be like, no, he's invincible. And I'd be like, dude, come on. So I'm overthinking that. Like I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah.
But
you can talk about some old ones too. Like
I'm talking about all of them. I could beat up a lot of presidents. Dude, if you go through the presidents, you can beat up a lot of them. A lot of them are just old men. It's very easy.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're all just really old.
Except for Obama and like
Obama would school your ass.
Obama, yes, he would. Obama would beat me. John F. Kennedy would be an interesting fight. Gerald Ford would body me. Do you know who Gerald Ford is? Dude.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I don't remember
straight
what
up,
he looked
almost
like.
only president to ever almost play in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Huge.
Just you kill me. One punch.
Yeah, Obama would get you stamina wise.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude, I've got no
balls.
Yeah, I do. I want to work out again. I used to work out in high school and stuff. I did last year I did a rec league soccer team, and it made me realize how out of shape I am. So I've wanted to work out again to get back into get my stamina back up.
I've been pumping up my workouts mainly for the mental.
Yeah, I've seen.
Health
I saw the gym equipment out there.
Yeah.
Looking good, man.
Yeah, I mostly just go to the gym. I honestly don't even use the stuff here very often. That's just for if I get like if I get into a rut, like if it's really cold, when it starts getting cold and I don't want to leave the house, that's what that's there for.
You called me the other day while I was working out. I'm sure you probably heard me like breathing really loudly when we were talking on the phone. I was like, I hope he knows I'm not like annoyed or anything. I'm just trying to like, I was on my elliptical thingy.
Oh yeah,
talking to you. Yeah. So I was like,
I love the elliptical.
Yeah.
But my buddy's like, you got to try the treadmill, bro. It's like, because he's hardcore.
Is he really?
He runs a lot. I have a couple friends that run so much. It's like
I can't. My fiance, she loves running.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't.
I don't get it. Like no one's chasing me. Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like no one's chasing me. Why?
Why am I running?
Why am I running? And
then the one time someone does chase you, you're gonna be like,
they're gonna catch me.
Why didn't I been running? I should have been running.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, we could talk about other addictions because the people who run are fucking. Like they're so addicted to running. Like
oh yeah, there's the runner's high.
Yeah,
very real.
I hear about it all the time. But
learned about it on Family Guy when I was a kid.
But our thing is like, we both can relate on this. We're just always like we always want to be doing something.
I'm definitely addicted to work. Yeah. Like I romanticize the idea of taking a vacation, but then when I'm on that vacation, I'm like, I should be working.
Yeah.
I'm
wasting
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where like even my hobby is Lego. And I was like, why am I just building this off camera right now? I should be filming this and putting it on YouTube. Like everything I do, I'm like, why am I not doing something?
Why am I not monetizing it?
Yeah, literally. Or it's like, why am I not doing, like if I'm just sitting around watching TV, it's like, why am I not doing something real quick for a client or for my other job? Like it's weird. It's overthinking for sure, but it's also kind of like an addiction to working.
Yeah, because you don't know what else to do with yourself.
Yeah. Like I feel.
You feel like you're missing something, out on something.
Yeah, I feel guilty sleeping in. Like I'll get that like urge where like, if it's like 9:30, I'll be like, what am I doing, man?
See, I'll do it and then I'll beat myself up over it.
Really? I can't do it. Like in the moment, I'll be like, you know what? Today I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to set my alarm for an hour. And then my brain just gets going of like, here's everything you need to do. Why are you laying down right now? And it's just.
Nope.
It's definitely not being addicted to work is not a good thing. But I think it's something that
there's worse things to be addicted to, obviously.
There are, and I do think like the grind mindset, the American mindset definitely enables the idea and glorification of
it glorifies the hell out of
overworking yourself. Like it's like the idea of like if you're putting in 100 hours of work, you're doing it. You're doing it. Hell yeah. And it's like, God damn, 100 hours of work. Like I do that and I know I hate it. But I like love it. It's the weirdest thing. It is. I don't know how to explain it, but
So when did that start happening? Because obviously, you know, you weren't always working. I mean, you were a kid at one time, and you know, like, and then you got into, was it like, did you go to college?
No,
You did
no.
not go to
I
college.
went into work right out of high school.
Right out of high
I
school,
went
okay.
to college for one day and dropped out.
One day.
Yeah, so I went to Kirkwood for one day, dropped out, then got a job at 18, got a job at Procter and Gamble in Iowa City, putting toothbrushes in the packs.
Okay.
Right? And I felt so guilty because I was one of the youngest people they had ever hired. They're like, usually we wait till you're in your 20s, but we'll give you a chance, kid. And then I only made it 6 months there because I got a job in radio. So I felt so bad because I was like, I hope I didn't just like climb up the ladder and then like kick the ladder for any other 18-year-old trying to get a job that early.
We're never hiring an 18-year-old.
Yeah, so I felt kind of guilty about that. But then when I was working at the toothbrush factory, I did third shift, so I thought I could do that and college. So I went to a day of Iowa and dropped out as well because I was like, I can't do this. Why did I think I could do this? And then I started working in radio.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I would do like Lego and action figures, but I would like create movie scripts in my head for them. And I was like, when I'm older, I'm going to write this stuff down and try to like sell it. Before I realized that it was a little kid creation and it was the worst idea ever. Like after I think, but I'd always like be trying to come up with ideas or something to do or to sell or to like make it. And that definitely set myself up kind of for failure in a weird way because I romanticized the idea forever of being like rich, selling something, being creative, doing this, doing that. And then now I'm 25 and I'm not a millionaire. So I'm kind of like disappointed in myself in a weird way.
Yeah, but I'm 33, so yeah, 20. When I think 25, I'm like, man, that's 8 years to difference, and there's so much you can do in that 8-year difference. Because I told myself when I was younger that I was gonna be a millionaire by 30. Not a millionaire.
Yeah. But isn't it weird? Like when you're young, you're like, I've got so much time.
Yeah.
So here is my deadline.
Yeah.
And then finally you hit that deadline and you're like, you're not a piece of shit. But
Yeah.
in your head, you're like, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you just had a bunch of other things happen. Like you probably as a kid, you weren't like, I'm going to do volunteer work. Now you do. Or like as a kid,
really
like when I was a kid, I was like, I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to meet that special someone and get married at 24. Like, or it was just, there's so many other opportunities, but you still have that one thing you set in your mind, that one goal you didn't hit that you set when you were a kid, and you beat yourself up about it, and it makes you addicted to working even harder because you didn't hit that goal, and it's kind of bad. I
got over the not being a professional baseball player thing.
I got over.
That was my first.
Really,
that was my first pipe dream. Yeah,
my first one was being a professional football player, but I got put on the B team very quickly. And my coach, I just vividly remember they went, Jake's athletic ability does not inspire confidence. And I went, all right. I learned that in 7th grade, that I was not going to make it. I was like, all right, I suck. Okay.
Yeah, I learned quickly in high school that was not going to happen.
Yep. I think we've all had the sports dreams. Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's had that sports dream that they're just like, yeah. It finally kicks in probably around high school, late middle school. They're like, damn. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. But the thing about, like, kicking yourself for like not being a millionaire, not being rich, or not being as successful as you think you should have been or should be, has to do with what we wanted to talk about, imposter syndrome. And social media is like, and we're on social media a lot, not necessarily because we want to be, but because we make money off of it, and we use it for a variety of reasons. I mean, I can't say I don't enjoy social media, otherwise I wouldn't be on it. But there's that imposter syndrome. I got to watch who I pay attention to and follow because I could be like, oh, man, look at them. Look at what they're doing.
Yep.
And I'm like, why am I not doing this? Why don't I quit my job and sell my house and live in a van and travel
do van life.
and do van life and do stand-up everywhere and do my podcast in my van?
Yep.
Why am I not doing that? Where's your balls, man?
Dude,
like.
Also, quick sidetrack. I just took like a swig of this. What is it called? Alina?
Is that?
I call it Alamina. It's not pronounced Alamina.
Alini?
It's not Alini. Whatever it is. Yeah. It like went right into my nose, and now my eyes are watering. And I'm like, I'm not crying on camera. I swear to God, I got
emotional.
I got so emotional about imposter syndrome.
It's an emotional episode.
It is. Oh my gosh, yeah. The thumbnail of me crying. God, that went right in my nose, all the fizzle. I was like, oh God, why did I drink that so fast? But no, with imposter syndrome and comparing yourself to others, we've got the things that feed the imposter syndrome in the sense of like, everyone has this. We all compare ourselves to someone else.
Oh, yeah.
It's very easy to say, don't compare yourself to others. It's going to happen for better and for worse. You'll compare yourself to others who are doing way worse than you, and you'll be like, damn, I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Then other days you're going to compare yourself to people who are way better than you. You'll be like, damn, I'm a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
That comparison happens with everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing I had in my mind was I was like, damn, am I the only one comparing myself to others? No. Everyone does it. You're not a bad person for doing it. It's a healthy thing
pretty normal.
not to do it, but you're not a bad person for doing it. Everyone does it. But with imposter syndrome, what comes in is you'll have these things where you're like, I have it really bad for my history channel. Cause like when I was blowing up at first, out of the blue, I was like, I don't deserve this. I don't know a lot about history. And then it was blowing my mind. And now that I've kind of stagnated and others have gone up, it's reinforced that imposter syndrome where it's like, see, you suck. And that's where it's really bad. I've had that
happen with my Instagram with Modern Day Overthinker. I'm coming back from it, but
when the problem with imposter syndrome is it's like anything can make you feel really good when something good happens, and make you feel really bad when something bad happens. So like with that, it was kicking me while I was down. I was like, man, I knew it. I'm a fake and I suck. But then with the business,
it reinforced that.
Yes, it reinforces that negative stigma of like, wow, I told you, you don't know shit. You suck. But then on the opposite end, so I do.
I'm laughing because I can relate,
dude. No, I know exactly what you mean. But then like with SEO, we both do SEO stuff. I do on page, off page, and technical SEO. When I first got into it, I was like, man, do I actually know what I'm doing? Like
my thing is, I'm learning. With SEO, because I was like, I want to do social media. I'm like, oh shit, SEO is like a big thing that I need to be getting into.
And social media is literally just off-page SEO.
Yeah.
That is what it is. It's a fancy way of saying social media. And that's why I do all three. But like,
sounds way cool. Yeah.
It sounds so much cooler. Where you're like,
way more professional.
Yeah.
Say social media, like, that's
yeah,
not
they're
real.
like when you're like, yeah, so it's going to cost $500 a month for off-page SEO. They're like, oh yeah, but if you're like, it's going to cost $500 a month to do your social media, they're like, what
Get out of here,
but
jabroni.
So that's where it's but when I first got into it, I was like, do I actually know what I'm doing? Like I had severe, but then once I started getting clients and getting referrals, so now my business is only through referrals. Now I've taken off all of my personal marketing and only do referrals. And once I started getting those referrals, the imposter syndrome felt super good in the sense of it crushed it. It was like, oh shit, I'm doing great. And it was a very good high, but it was a great feeling, but it was boosted because of imposter syndrome. So I have such a weird thing with imposter syndrome where if I can beat it, it feels great. But if I don't beat it, it feels like ass. And
when you do beat it, do you feel kind of guilty? Like you didn't deserve it?
About a week later, yeah, literally.
You get a week to enjoy it.
Like for a week, I'm like, damn, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like I'll call if I go join a client and they're like, dude, everything is scattered. We worked with this other person and this, and I'll call the person and I'll talk tech with them, right? And like I'll say words, they'll say words. We understand each other, and the client's just like, what? That was amazing. How did you do that? And I'm like, I'm the best. Hell yeah! And
like a consulting kind of thing.
More of like they worked with they're like, we worked with GoDaddy and everything's all messed up, and I'll be like, hey, so the website, like with the domain, it's parked and we need to figure out, and they're like, what does that mean? And I'm like, dude, parked? it's not so I'll be like, holy shit, I'm great at what I do. And then like the next day a fire will happen with a different client, and I'll be like, god, that it comes back, right? But it's just, that's the other thing with being addicted to work is I hate the fires when they happen, but when you put out a fire,
you feel great.
Oh my! There was an I don't.
Why do you think I've been doing customer service for 6 years?
It feels so that high. I don't even know how to do it. But when you fix the problem, it is the coolest feeling ever. Or for one of my clients, we got them like, and this isn't a big number, but it's for a local business. So we got them 15,000 views.
That's big for.
I was like. And like people
organic
15,000 views. People were DMing them, asking them like, how do I get this? How do I do that? And and like the client literally messaged me and was like, thank you. I was like, great feeling. It is a great feeling, but it's also a very, it's quick. It burns out quick.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to highs, probably the completion high is one of the shortest highs ever. Like it could be gone within 7 minutes. That was a very specific time. I've never timed it before, but in my mind,
it's exactly 7 minutes.
In 7 minutes, that high is gone. It is, but I don't know how to describe it, but it is such a great feeling. Like,
yeah, to be able to solve that problem and fit and.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about,
dude. And anyone listen, like like you're just like. Your ego goes insane. Like you don't say to anyone else, but in your mind, you're just like, I am the best. Someone else probably couldn't have done this as fast as I did. I just saved this thing. I am so like, I had to do an IT thing for someone and I don't do IT.
Yeah.
But they were having like this major issue with their admin login and they.
Are you a family IT person?
What's that?
Are you a family IT person? Like your grandma calls you or something?
No, because I have he works in Silicon Valley. My uncle. He's the family IT guy.
Okay, so you got somebody ahead of you.
Yeah,
okay.
thankfully. Yeah. So they call him
okay.
for everything. But if he's busy,
you're the nice guy.
So it goes that uncle in Silicon Valley, then my other uncle who just loves tech, then me. So I'm third string. So it's great. It is. Those two uncles saved me a lot of conversations.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's a good point because I fell in love with that stuff because of them.
Yeah.
But like for these other businesses, they don't have an IT team. So something goes wrong, they're like, hey, we own our domain through Google, and we've got them admin login. How do we make a new email for this new employee? And I'm like, you log into the admin here, you add new thing. I'm going to set up a temp password.
You feel like God.
Dude, yeah. And I just make it, and they're like, wait, what? And they log in. I'm like, so put in the temp password I just created, which is blah, 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 blah. They type it in. I'm like, now make your own password. They're like, wow. And I'm like, yeah.
You feel like a wizard. And at the same time, you're just like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, it's like I just literally created you a new password. That's all I did. Or they'll be like, hey, this person forgot their password. What do we do? And I'm like, here you go. I got it. So like that's where my business model has turned into, yes, I've got set packages, but now since it's only through referrals, all of my clients are like, this guy does exactly what you need. So now I don't have to go around and be like, JT SEO services. Now it's, hey, I heard you through my friend. What do you offer? And I'm like, what do you need? They're like, I need this, this, and this. I'm like, we do this. This is how much it costs now. And like, cool, works for me. So it's a really good feeling. And I've been very happy that imposter syndrome hasn't been following me so much with that business anymore.
That's good.
Follows me all the time with social media though. That like my own personal social media.
Oh yeah.
That stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
It haunts you, man. It makes you feel so bad.
Yeah, it's tough. And it's like the stuff you put more time into.
And it doesn't do well. That's not even imposter syndrome anymore. That's just like a gut punch. Like the work. Honestly,
you put in the work. You put in the time. Do the edits, whatever.
Dude, like, and that's not even imposter syndrome anymore. Like, so if we're putting that aside, like, right, like you just know you did good work, right? So like what we're doing here, this is good work. It's a podcast though, but probably it's not hours of work that you're putting into this, right? It's probably a couple of hours.
Couple hours editing, yeah.
Couple hours editing. About like how long would you say you put into a podcast?
One episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a couple hours. Yeah.
Then you've got this other video that you do, right? Like the long edited form that turns into like this 24-minute video that you spent 6 hours working on, and you're like, this was a beast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna upload it and people are gonna love it. And then it's like 9 views. You're like, why did I do this? Why did I? God, I've had that. For me, I've got a YouTube channel that does history now. But before it did history, before I even got into history, because TikTok's what kicked it off, I did songs for YouTubers. And it blew up my channel because the YouTubers would acknowledge it. And I got 34,000 subscribers on YouTube, was averaging like 10,000 views.
When you say songs for YouTube, what do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
So like, Boogie2988 or the official podcast with Moist Critical or I Hate Everything, the movie review guy. We literally would make songs about, I'll show them you after the podcast. We would make songs about them and then just upload it. And then they would be like, this was amazing. Like they would shout it out, share it on their social medias. We even would get collaborations with the creator to be in it. we only did like 6 of them, but it was like blown up. I went from 2,000 subscribers to 34,000 within the course of like 3 months, which is huge for YouTube.
Huge growth.
It was blown up. And then one band member went, "Hey guys," and it was because it was a band called Running in Place with Jake. Like we combined, because I was friends with all of them, and that was for YouTuber songs. They did their own thing. They had an internal band member leave, and he was the one who did all the mixing, all the stuff. They've got new members now, and they're an amazing band. But that special connection we had with everything just fell apart.
Yeah.
So I just all of a sudden, poof, no more videos like that.
Got to rebrand.
So now I'm trying to rebrand, but 90% of my followers followed for the music about YouTubers. So I did Quest for the Greatest YouTuber Ever, where like I reviewed YouTubers, and it managed to keep me stagnant. I think I only lost like 5,000 subscribers, which over the course of a year of doing it. So like I didn't gain any, but like for such a drastic change. And then that just wasn't working anymore. I saw less, than I completely rebranded to History, and it just is the worst feeling to go from averaging 10,000 views on YouTube while being partnered. So that was like not crazy amounts of money, but like
solid.
if you're uploading a video every other day and getting like 10,000 views, you're doing all right. That was a nice little part-time job at high V money. You know what I mean? And then to go to like 300 views a video.
Yeah.
Just that one hurt a little bit, and that one.
I know what you mean. Yeah, because Modern Day Overthinker wasn't always Modern Day Overthinker.
Yeah, what was it?
It was Now That's College. Because I was in college and I started it started on Twitter actually.
Really? Okay. Back in the
now X.
Back when Twitter would actually like show stuff to people and everything. Now if you post something, no one's gonna. It doesn't. Yep.
It goes in the abyss.
Yep. It does not. It's speaking of SEO.
Yeah.
Search engine optimization on Twitter is terrible. Or on
terrible.
X.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get discovered.
Yeah, it's brutal, but Twitter used to be the shit in like 09, 2010.
You could get discovered. You could become Twitter famous. Twitter fame used to be a thing. Now
it's not.
No one is going to become Twitter famous. You have to be famous in something else and be so famous that they come to your Twitter.
Yep.
No one can go Twitter famous anymore. I don't think anyone will ever go or X famous.
Yeah.
Until and they're rebranding, creating videos and stuff. Maybe someday down the road, like my hypothesis is if X doesn't completely collapse underneath itself, that could be the next one that highly rewards short form content.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping an eye on it once the YouTube one dries up, but it's a little rough right now. But what were you doing with that?
So Now That's College, we started out as me and a buddy of mine, and we really loved Twitter, and we're like, and the hashtag thing was becoming a thing, and obviously they created the hashtag thing.
Yeah.
So we wanted to use the hashtag college. We wanted to make that basically ours. Like if they thought of hashtag college, they thought of Now That's College.
Wow, you guys were doing it.
Yeah.
That is very early SEO. That is meta tags.
Yeah.
You were literally using. Oh, damn.
Yeah. So what we did was we started retweeting people, and like retweet with a comment or just a regular retweet, depending on what we're doing. And it just like people just talking about college, like just the random shit that happened, or like people partying, or you know, like skipping class, all like the degenerate stuff of college.
Yeah.
Is what we focused on, and it blew up. We got to like close to 30,000 followers on Twitter.
Wow.
And
that's crazy, actually.
Yeah, and then my buddy that I started it with kind of just like we both graduated, you know, got jobs and stuff and moved on, and he just like kind of phased out, and then we kind of like detached as friends as well.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother story with that.
Yeah.
But and so I was just running this on my own, and I was like, I'm not in college anymore. I feel like the old guy that's at the party that should leave. And
you didn't barstool it. Barstool, they've got dudes in their 30s, 40s, and they're still doing all the...
Dude, Barstool actually shared a couple of our things.
Nice, dude. That is sick.
If you search Now That's College on Barstool, I'm sure there's a couple of things that you could find.
Dude.
Otherwise, Now That's College is completely wiped from the internet for the most part, except for the Facebook page, which Zuckerberg would not let me change the name to Modern Day Overthinker, so I had to start over.
I hate the Facebook page thing where it's like, nope, can't change the name.
I changed the Twitter, and I changed the Instagram to Modern Day Overthinker. The Twitter, I lost like 10,000 followers. The Instagram went from 19,000 followers to now I'm at 9,000 followers.
Dude, no, it hurts. God, looking at the analytics and just see that. Dude, I had that with my YouTube channel.
Well, but I also went from talking about degenerate college partying stuff to mental health.
Yep.
Like a complete 180.
Yeah.
There's only probably there's some OG followers from now that's college that stuck around that are like still supporting me. Mm-hmm. But there's like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like nice mental health.
So a couple of them have been on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that is sick. Speaking of Twitter, do you remember when the clown sightings were really big?
Oh yeah.
So there was this viral Twitter page called Midwest Clown Sightings. Mm-hmm. And we liked that so much, we created our own page called Clown Busters Iowa. Mm-hmm. And they followed us and would retweet our stuff. And that was the first it was Iowa viral, but that was the first viral Twitter I ever made because we were sophomores in high school, and we're like, we're the Clown Busters Iowa, we'll bust your clowns, right? And people would DM, and obviously kids, right, would be DMing us and being like, hey, can you come to blah 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 Iowa? There's rumors that clowns are gonna come to our school and kill our teachers and everything, and just this outlandish stuff, right? Like people ran with the clown stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny because we were straight up just like, yeah, we'll be there. We never showed up, obviously. But just the Clown Busters, we did go out a few times. Never found anything, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Got pulled over by the police once and we were like, we're playing Pokemon Go, officer. We're not doing anything. And the cop was like, all right, we were a bunch of kids, so I would assume so. All right, good luck. We're like, no, actually, we're hunting down adults dressed up as clowns. But that was the first thing I was ever a part of that went viral, right? And it was such a cool feeling to be a part of it. And I think after that, I've always chased that high to be bigger, better, make something successful.
Let me tell you something about imposter syndrome that I've never talked about on the podcast. Okay, so have you heard of the website Elite Daily?
Elite Daily?
They actually have they do stuff on, you know how they have the Snapchat stuff?
Yeah.
They do stuff on there now. They're a huge site.
I'm not even joking. I've seen it on Snapchat. I know exactly. That's why I see all the. Is it what do they do in particular?
They just do different. I mean, they do different content.
Is it kind of like a mixture of Drama Alert and Barstool?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah. Yep.
So back in 20, it was the early 2010s. I don't know how else to describe it. I had a fucking call with them.
Really?
Yeah. But they hadn't done anything yet. There were nobody.
Oh my God.
And it was two guys from New York.
How'd you get a call with them?
Because they liked now
the
it's
college. Oh my.
Yeah.
Dude.
And I never followed up with them. I was like, I didn't like them. I didn't like them. So I never followed up with them.
Dude, and does that haunts you a little bit,
that
doesn't
haunts
it?
me.
Yep.
That and Bitcoin.
That's not even imposter syndrome. That's just like FOMO to the max, dude.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. By the way, FOMO, I first heard that term this last week.
Are you serious?
No one had ever said that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've heard CHOMO, and that's real bad.
Yeah. FOMO, fear of missing out, man.
Never.
Dude, I
had to explain it to a friend yesterday. He didn't know what it was either.
Oh my God, no, dude, fear of missing out. I've had that all the time.
Oh no, I get what it is.
Yeah.
But the acronym,
you just have never heard that before.
I have so many acronyms in my brain. I work with health insurance, so I'm
fair enough. You got a lot of them in that noggin.
So many acronyms.
Dude, no, I got into E-Trade and all of that during the height of stock trading and everything. Okay. And I just got an email from E-Trade being like, hey, you've got a negative balance. We're going to take your assets. I was like, what? Because the stock market's terrible. I just went and looked into my account and it's just all the stocks I bought 2 years ago are just all negative. So they're like, hey, since it's all negative and you have a negative balance, we're going to take it. So the stock market's never been so bad that my account went below zero until now.
Oh, wow.
So I was just like, man, that's the stock market, if you're not doing big, because I only put $600 into it, right? Because it was 2 years ago. I was in my early 20s just being like, oh, I'm buying into the hype. Never touched it since until that email. And I thought it was a scam email because I was like, I don't even use E-Trade.
Yeah.
And I looked and it's like, oh, wow. So they check your stocks if you got into the hype because I think we all bought into the hype. So just check your stocks and make sure you don't owe money because they will actually take your assets and it can affect your credit. It can affect everything. Yeah. So I was like, yikes. And I was like, so now it's If the stock market just keeps going down, do I just have to keep putting money in there and just keep losing more and more and more?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not good with that kind of
Neither
stuff.
am I. I was like, why did I buy into that? Speaking of, that's an imposter syndrome. That's just me knowing I
Did you have anyone tell you about Bitcoin when it's like a long time ago?
No, because a long time I would have been like,
yeah, you're younger than I am.
So like probably if you heard about Bitcoin when you were 18, I was 10.
Yeah.
So I
heard about it when I was 25.
So what's 25 minus
8 years ago?
What's so I would have been
17.
17.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
17-year-old me would
not cared at all.
Not a chance.
This dude was talking about like mining Bitcoin, and I was like, this is stupid. And
damn. Hey, at least you're not the guy who spent 25 Bitcoin on a pizza. That was the first one of the first Bitcoin transfers ever. Was some dude was like, I want a pizza. I'll pay you in Bitcoin. And person bought him a pizza and he gave him 25 Bitcoin. Could you imagine that? Today? Being like, So at least you're not that guy.
Yeah. Or the people who lost their wallets.
Their hard drives or God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few cryptocurrencies. I was in Voyager, but Voyager turned out to be a huge like scam because that was that was owned by whatever that guy was, FTX, the FTX owner.
That guy, yeah.
Freud or whatever.
Yeah.
Huge scam. So so Voyager was shutting down. So I had to move it all over to Coinbase. So now it just sits there. So I just got a bunch of stocks in crypto that are just worthless.
Yeah.
Just losing me money. I'm just hemorrhaging money on. I'm like, wow, why did I buy into this?
I did some stupid. I've never made any money off of any of the Bitcoin.
Did you do Dogecoin?
Oh yeah.
Same. I still have it. I still am holding on to it.
You're still holding?
It's going to the moon one of these days.
I have Shiba Inu.
Oh. I've got I did buy
which is worth like fractions of a penny.
Dude, yeah. I did buy some Ethereum.
Yeah.
When it was still right. So that one's sitting pretty good. That's the only one I have that's not negative.
Yeah, Ethereum was like the next best to
next
Bitcoin.
to Bitcoin is like the silver of Bitcoin.
It's still like
hey, we should start a cryptocurrency podcast. We can teach you guys everything you need to know. You can trust us. Yeah. This guy missed out, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
We'll start our own coin.
Our own coin worth nothing. Yeah. Did you hear about all the NFTs? How 95% of NFTs are now worthless?
I knew that.
Yeah, you would have known that when it first started, but it's still just like now it's confirmed.
I'm glad I was right about that one.
Yeah, you were right about something. How mad would you have been if that was the one you bought into because of FOMO and you would have lost everything?
Yeah.
Ah, man.
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know why they. There's a few of them that had like if you bought the NFT, it'd get you tickets into a like when a band would create it, it'd be like you get this NFT and if you show it, you get into a special area to watch the concert.
Yeah.
We will do yeah. But people who are just like, hey, I'm a celebrity and here's an NFT from a moment you can buy. It's like, why is that worth anything?
Yeah, the only people who made money were the people
selling them.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, who like created them.
Yeah.
Which is
Bieber has like an ape that's worth like next to nothing.
Yeah, compared to how much he bought it for. Yeah. Oh, there was one more thing before we wrap up because you said we need to keep it to like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, we can go. We got a little bit of time. We wanted to talk about
ADHD. And I was going to say we're very ADHD.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Right now.
I have it too. I'm more of an ADD. I don't know about the H, but whatever.
Gotcha. I've got the hyper part of ADHD. That's where the hyper. If you've seen me like fidgeting and like doing this, that's the H in ADHD.
Yeah, and he hasn't even drank the whole energy.
Dude, no, I haven't. I'm wired.
He's just like that.
Like that naturally, and this stuff just raises my blood pressure, so it's good. I don't take any medication for ADHD anymore. I am on blood pressure medication, though.
Oh, really?
Yep. The old ticker is, it's always high. So we got blood pressure medicine like 4 months ago. So I'm going to be on that the rest of my life.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, kind of like an old guy.
Every
day I have to put my arm into one of those machines because we have one at my house and it has to read my blood pressure. And it's good now. I'm like 138 over.
And your fiance is a nurse, so
she's a nurse, so she was very like woke. Cause I used to be like, I think it was like 165 over 102, which is just terrible. Like that is really. So now I'm 138 over 83, so way better. Not gonna die at a young age now. That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal.
But the ADHD thing was as a kid, I was just an annoying loud kid. They were like, because I grew up during the time because I grew up in the 2000s, 2010s, so that was when every nurse was just like, hey, you ever hear of ADHD? Here's some Redlin. Here's some Adderall. So I got put on Redlin pretty young. Lost a lot of weight because it wrecked my appetite. And then I got off Redlin when I was like a freshman in high school.
Okay. You haven't taken anything since?
No Adderall, no Redlin.
Were you ever on Adderall?
What?
Were you ever on Adderall?
No, never.
Adderall's interesting, man. It's I am actually on Vyvanse right now, which is I'm on 10 milligrams. So if you talk to somebody that's really on like, have been on like, they're like, that's like nothing. I'm like, because I'm scared because I don't want. Because I hear the word amphetamine, I'm like, ooh. Because I know people like that used to be addicted to meth. So
because that's what all of it. Redlin, Adderall, all that stuff's just meth. Right?
Kind of. Not really. I mean, not exactly. And it's not made in somebody's tub.
It's over-the-counter meth. Really nice, clean, safe meth.
Clean, safe meth, basically, is what it is. And like, I feel a little weird about being on it, but also at the same time, it's help. But with anything, the thing with meds that you gotta watch out for is fucking side effects. Like it's messed up. Because I told you earlier, like when I get stressed out, I have to watch it because I get like irritable bowel syndrome and like my body gets just really like tensed up and it's not good. Things do not go well for me. I don't function properly. It messes with my head and like I've been trying to do more research into gut health in general just because it's so very important.
Have you ever tried hydrosols?
No.
Hydrosols work pretty well for me. I used to get sick more often when I was stressed. Started doing hydrosols. I don't get sick. Now all I get are like...
I don't even know what that is.
Hydrosols, they're kind of like holistical kind of medicine. So I'm not going to be like, do hydrosols. They work for me. Could just be a placebo side effect, but my parents are really into it, so my dad distills all of it. So he'll grow it, then distill it, turn it into that liquid, and then we drink it, and it helps all of us with any kind of ailments we've got. Okay. So it's been very good for us, but I'm not going to be like...
Well, I mean, my psychiatrist, which is cool, like she's been getting more into more of the holistic, more natural remedies, which is really cool because I'm trying to slowly get off of manufactured medications.
Yeah. I'm in a weird boat because I don't love big pharma. I understand the need. Like I'm on blood pressure medicine. There's nothing in I genuinely I love hydrosols. I support them with all I drink hydrosols to stay healthy. I drink them all the time. I love them, but I also am like, okay, this probably won't help with my high blood pressure. No. I should be taking something.
It's not gonna fix everything.
But there's other things where I'm like, I'm gonna try hydrosol. I'm gonna try something else instead because I think big pharma, their goal is to sell you as much as possible. So obviously they're gonna be like, here's everything. Yeah. So I like holistic stuff.
They don't make money if you're not on it.
Yeah. So there's some things where I'm like, it's the same with college. There's some things where I'm like, maybe you don't need to go to college for that. But there's other things where it's like, oh yeah, obviously go to college. Like there's
you want to be a doctor. Please go to college.
Please God, go to college. Don't be a holistical doctor. Go to actual college. But there's certain things where it all draw, and I think that's. I don't know why I'm getting into this, but I think that's why people who deal with like black and white, where it's like I'm 100% in on big pharma, or they're like I'm 100% against big pharma. It's always kind of a little interesting. I think there's a lot more gray in the world.
There's so much more gray than
that's a whole if we would have started with that with this podcast, we would have gone a completely different direction.
Then we're gonna start talking about QAnon and conspiracies.
Oh yeah, yep. It'll get real crazy.
I want to ask you one question though, since I am a conspiracy guy and you do like a lot of history stuff.
I do. I have a segment called History versus Conspiracy, where I talk about the legitimacy of a conspiracy theory and how fun a conspiracy theory is, and use history to try to be like.
Have you done? I mean, one of the classics is the JFK
assassination.
Yeah.
I think. So one way we look at it is different like motives and different possibilities. And I will say something interesting about the JFK assassination is compared to other conspiracy theories, there are more than 3 avenues that could potentially be seen as a legitimate reason why, right? Because you've got the conspiracy of the mob, which would be, hey, the guy who shot JFK was then immediately shot after that by someone with associations to the mafia. Mm-hmm. You've also got the conspiracy. Your flag fell right when I said that. That was terrifying. Or you've got they're
Ghost of
listening
J-
they're listening.
The ghost of JFK.
JFK. He's mad. He's like, that's the one. That was the mock. You got it. But then you've got the other, like, this one is way less credible, but the fact that it's something is the Lyndon B. Johnson conspiracy of how much he butted heads with John F. Kennedy and how much he disagreed with him. You've got the Russian conspiracy, where it's Russia was actually very much against him, and maybe Lee Harvey Oswald did shoot him, but Russia actually played a much larger role than just some crazy guy with that. Then you've got just the whole conspiracy of his certain party members being upset with him or his own wife being upset with him. So the fact that there's just so many avenues makes it a much more interesting conversation to have when it comes to conspiracies than other ones where it's like, my conspiracy is this one thing happened and that's all. So it's definitely one that I rate much higher. Yeah, it's one I rate much higher compared to others.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that one's one of the ones I believe in the most compared to any other one.
Yeah.
Was that the big conspiracy theory you wanted to ask?
I mean, there's others, but
I've got a conspiracy theory that ridiculous conspiracy theories get fed to the public because the public's so willing to believe any conspiracy theory they hear to water down genuine conspiracies. And that's why I do history versus conspiracy, is to be like, hey, here's a bunch of ridiculous conspiracies that you shouldn't be buying into when there's other conspiracies that are genuine things. There's so many things throughout history where people who, like with the Vietnam War, right? People were like, hey, we're just doing this because France asked us to. We should not be in Vietnam right now. Like, this is going to turn out very badly. And everyone's like, shut up, you conspiracy theorists. And then the longer it went on, the more people turned against the Vietnam War, the more they realized how messed up it was. There are so many things that were like, hey, I'm just going to point this out. And everyone's like, shut up, conspiracy theorist. And now it's a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I'll talk about before we wrap up is the ADHD, just because we didn't get to touch on that a whole lot. Yeah. Because we got really ADD.
Yeah.
What are some of your, since you're not on medication, and what are some of the either holistic or mindfulness things that you are doing to try to stay focused and combat that?
Write stuff down and have a schedule.
Scheduling?
Write stuff down,
schedule. Use your phone?
Yes. So I literally have a whiteboard where I write down everything I genuine stuff. So like I write down all of my clients. Mm-hmm. I write down like things that happen every week. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I know I got to go to Cedar Rapids. There's certain things that are just constantly always written down. Then set myself reminders. Hey, call this, do this. Then there's other things where it's you just kind of get yourself set in a routine. Create routines. Your whole life can't be a routine. Crazy things happen. But there's certain routines you can have. So my nightly routine is I brush my teeth, check my blood pressure, go upstairs. My fiance, she's already asleep. I upload 3 YouTube shorts, and then at least once that week upload. So every night it's 3 YouTube shorts. Then once a week it's a TikTok. And that's where that it makes sure. Is a
YouTube short that you upload, is it bits of other videos, or is it
sometimes, or it's a brand new piece of content? Okay. It depends. I just have to do something.
Just curious.
Just get something up there. If it flops, you just delete it and upload something else.
Yeah.
But that's where it builds that routine. It builds that consistency, because the biggest struggle of a creative with ADHD is you've got a million ideas, you've got a million great stuff. A month flies by and you didn't do any of it. Now you're kicking yourself. You feel like a piece of garbage. Putting yourself in a routine so you upload that stuff and create that stuff helps you feel less bad and creates a creative outlet that you can genuinely perform with. So even if it's the smallest little bit, right? That nightly routine is only 20 minutes long. That's only 20 minutes of my entire day. But that is a routine that is now happening. Mm-hmm. Creating that routine, creating lists, writing things down is one of the best things you can do. Having a good support system. My fiance is very good with keeping me on track, being like, hey, just checking in, like keeping me, what's the word?
In check
or accountable. Keeping me accountable. Yeah. So just that kind of stuff is kind of my go-to.
Yeah. Scheduling and to-do lists. I found to-do lists have been very crucial for me.
Yes. In my magical stones.
Oh, you got some magic?
No, I don't know. I was just
wait a second.
Just throwing a curveball in there with I pull out magical stones.
Yeah. I'm into crystals, actually.
Yeah, my parents are into crystals.
Really?
Not for like, they're not like, these crystals heal you. They just collect them for like looks and stuff.
Yeah, they're cool looking.
They're very cool, but they're that's a whole nother story.
Crystals. Oh
My
man.
magical crystals.
So yeah, my ADD just caught up with me because I was gonna ask you one other thing and now I can't remember it.
Should have written it down.
Should have written it down.
You've got a whiteboard right there that you write stuff down.
Oh no! Somebody told me something because you were just talking about how you have all these things and you're like, I didn't get anything done, or I didn't get that done, or you start a bunch of stuff and you don't finish it. That's when I noticed, because I didn't get diagnosed with ADD until like this last year.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
cow.
you guys are gonna throw another acronym at me?
Another little curveball.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, no more acronyms.
No more FOMO.
No more FOMO. But no, I had a meeting with a guy. It was the first guy I met with. One of the first guys I met with when I was doing research about social media and about my company and building that and doing customer discovery research. I met with a guy I've known for a long time. He used to be my manager at Jimmy John's, and he gave it to me straight because he's seen me like try to do stuff over the last like 10 or so years and like flop or not follow through.
Gotcha.
All this stuff, and he's like, you start all this stuff, but you never follow through.
That is what makes where I'm at so awesome. Is a lot of my clients are like, we had a social media guy, but he quit after 3 months, and I was like, I won't quit. I've had clients for over a year now, and that's where people like you in the past were my favorite kind of person because they wouldn't follow through.
Yeah,
and then
I used to be that guy, but now I'm like, I can't be that guy.
No, it is one of the worst. Being that, because we've all been there before. I think everyone's had that, especially when I was younger. I struggled with that. Is that just gives an opportunity to people who can follow through to capitalize off of your mistake. Yeah. So now turning years up.
Yeah, you're welcome, all those people.
Yeah, no, dude, a majority of people are in the same boat. I think a majority of people are ADHD and ADD. I think it is way more.
I've talked to people where like they kind of look at like autism like there's a spectrum.
Oh yeah, I think ADHD it's the same thing as a spectrum, and I think you shouldn't feel bad if you can't follow through because after seeing how much there's so many people who just it's hard to follow through. It is so hard.
Well, and people overwhelm themselves and they do too many things.
Too much stuff at the wall.
Yep.
Throwing too much.
Yep. That's where I've learned is like I gotta pick what the right thing. Yep. Yeah. And have the right approach and what I'm gonna focus on and my priorities.
Yep. Because you're only one dude. You can't do everything. And it's hard because you want to do everything. That imposter syndrome makes you feel like you need to do everything. Yeah. Otherwise, you're a fake. You're not actually good at what you think you're good at. So you have to do everything. And then get yourself into a vicious cycle where nothing gets completed. And then you feel like garbage.
Yeah. It's fun.
Even if you're only finishing one thing, put yourself to finish something. It's one of the biggest things.
Like that's how small goals. Yeah.
And that for me was my YouTube channel first. Then once I saw the success with the YouTube channel, with the YouTuber stuff, and I was like, I can do this. I can complete it on my own. And even after the band broke up and I still was uploading content,
you could have just said, I'm done.
Yeah, but I was like, I proved to myself, even though it wasn't blowing up as well as it was before, I can do this. And then I moved over to TikTok, and I've thanks to that, I've had a lot of luck with like government parties. Not like a specific party, just like general government stuff where they're like, hey, tell kids to vote. They pay so good.
Really?
Oh my God.
Because the TikTok creator fund I heard is trash.
It's fine. It's
okay.
Mid. It's pretty mid. You're making a couple $100 max, but if you've got every there's like
nice
there's 3 voting cycles basically that go on. So 3 times I get reached out to a year, and they pay thousands to tell you to tell kids to vote for like a minute-long video. Thousands just to be like,
not
hey,
who to
vote
for, just vote.
Just vote. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't have to sell out. I don't have to do anything. It's just tell kids to vote. And I'm like, I believe that. The only problem with that is then I have to vote because dude, Trump versus Hillary, Trump versus Biden. Wow, such fun voting. But I have to because I
third party, baby.
Yeah, that's where or write-ins or something. But that's why I'm like that was the one crappy part where it's like, oh, I better vote. I can't be telling people go vote and then not vote.
Yeah, you could just go right in Mickey Mouse. He gets a lot of votes. Or Harambe gets a lot of votes every year.
He did really well in 2016.
That's a great write-in year.
Good. Yep.
The last couple elections have been like that. Oh my God.
So who did you vote for? What's your political stance? No, I'm just kidding. We can wrap it up. I was like, just end it on that.
Yeah. That would be a whole nother podcast. But yeah, we can go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. So where's this going with that?
Let me get away from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you stopping in, and
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I've never been in your house before. It's pretty nice. I like it.
yeah, I don't let a lot of people in here.
I like the setup. Yeah.
Not everyone leaves. No, I'm just kidding.
Depends on how you do on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll let the cat out. We'll see what she thinks of it. My cat's crazy, but that's why she had to be downstairs.
He locks his cat downstairs for his podcast, just so you guys know.
Yeah.
PETA, you should look into
Yeah,
this.
look into that. But then you'll meet my cat then and be like, I get it.
They'll be like, I understand.
Yeah, we
Usually,
understand.
PETA's very irrational, but this one time they'll be like, I
all right,
understand. I
she's
got you.
kind of a bitch.
I get it.
But yeah, man, I look forward to creating more stuff with you.
Dude, hell yeah.
But yeah, it's been great, and I think we got to cover a lot in the short period of time. So
Yep.
the imposter syndrome, I've definitely dealt with that for a long time, and I know a lot of people deal with it. So I think that's gonna be great, and also just the ADD stuff and the work addiction and just not feeling like you're doing enough, like always.
Yep.
It's just
I think it's something a lot of people struggle with, either to a major extent or even a minor extent. I think it's something everyone sees.
Yeah.
But
I appreciate
yeah.
it, man.
Dude, thanks for having me. We're doing a high five.
High fiving it. All right, man.